Hello, this is Mike, NoStressMike.com. Okay, I want to talk about knives, and these are they're kind of like shit hit the fan type knives, and I want to try to explain to you how they kind of work. Now you got to remember, the shit hit the fan kind of stuff is not new to me. I've been doing this for, I guess all my life, I guess. And it's not like this is something I prepare for. These are things that I do. I mean, I've been watching my videos, I get myself in some weird kind of situations, and sometimes they really are shit hit the fan kind of situations. So I want to talk about the knives that have been with me, and I've had them for years, and this is why I want to try to let you and explain exactly how these knives work. Okay, now first thing, they're all cold steel. These are what we're going to talk about. They're all cold steel, and cold steel's been around for some time, and I'm not a knife expert on the metal and this type of stuff. And but the way I understand, the way they make them, there's a reason why it's called cold steel. Though their manufacturing is not normal, like heat them up and pound them out and this type of stuff. It's a different type of thing. And I've had really good luck with them. And I'm gonna start with this is my newest knife, and I've already made a video talking about this, and how this is how I've used it. Now the thing is, you see I got a clip. You see there's the pocket clip is on both sides, and the reason is I use it right side and left side, just depending on the situation. And you can see there's big notches on there, and the reason I have those is when it gets caught in the pocket, and then when you pull it out, it's already ready for action. And this is the knife that I took when I went to Harvey, the Hurricane Harvey, here in the United States, because Americans are a little different. And they find knives threatening, and so when it's in my pocket, then it's less threatening to them when it's in my pocket. And then, like I say, when I need it, I can just pull it out, and like I say, it works. The bad thing about that, I don't like it. See, what I've been using now is a flipper, and I like that. That's really what I really like. But like I say, this is before I knew about flippers. And let's say you pull it out, it gets caught on the pocket, and then it comes. That's why they got big nuts on there that I have on there, screw and nut. It had a little dinky thing on there, so then it was hard to flip it open. Because like I say, since it shit hit the fan, I'm going to have gloves on much of the time, so I needed something that would work with gloves or without gloves. So that's what it is. And left-handed and right-handed. So that's, and you see, this is kind of a big knife. I don't even know. Voyager is what it is. And like I said, I already made a video about it, but I made a video after I got it and I started modifying with it. But it is something that I use, and it is, like I say, shit hit the fan kind of knife, and you can see it's kind of big. It's big in the hand, so that's what that is. I know I showed you the flipper, but I better say a little bit while I got it. This is a Kershaw, and I really like it. And you see, it's smaller, and this is why my everyday carry, and I'm working on a ranch, so this is what I'm using on that. And Okay, now really, the knives that I really like are sheath knives. Those are the best that I like. I don't like the folders. I really don't. The money you spend on a folder, some of the money goes into the mechanisms and the fancy way that they're working and stuff like that. And when you buy a sheath knife, all the money is into the knife itself normally. And the reason I got this particular knife is because of the sheath. And now, and like I say, it's cold steel, and I like it because you can have it in any kind of angle, and you just use your thumb and you take it out. And this, I use this in a fighting knife. Like I say, this is really for shit hit the fan. I mean, if you're a refugee, you're going places, this is what you need. It's big enough you can use it for self-defense. It's big enough that you can do things with it. It's small enough you can eat with. And as I say, the K-bar, I remember in Vietnam we used to eat with the K-bar, and it's not really handy to eat. This is much better to eat with. Cut your vegetables and cut your fruit and cut things up. This is the knife that's going to work. Now this is SRK. I think it's search rescue knife, I think is what it is. What I don't like about it is the handle, in the way of, you can't hear it, but it's loose. And I think what happened, this will be sitting in the car, sits in the car a lot, and the heat expanded the rubber, and so the glue came off or something. So there's a loose thing to it. And I took this black paint was on it, and I took that off because, like I say, I use this for eating, and I don't want to eat any black paint. So I took the black paint off, and as you can see, I really haven't even used it that much. Like I say, for the shit at the fan. And in Central America, I couldn't drive around with this in my car. I did it one time with the K-bar, and they got it and found my K-bar, and they wanted to confiscate my K-bar. I got out of that. That's when I got this. And like I say, this is smaller than the K-bar, and it's really less threatening. And anybody with any sense knows this is a utility using knife. You use it. Search and rescue is what this is. And, so you can kind of dig in things, and you can see the thickness of the blade. There, I don't know if you can even see it, but there. You see the blade is much thicker than a pocket knife. Much thicker. And so that's what makes it a good hunk of steel. Like I said, I really don't know what's the best handle, but this handle really isn't working as good as I planned. But it's good because you can grip it good, with gloves or without gloves. So, but like I say, the main reason why I got it was the sheath. The sheath is really good, and I'm not going to go into all of it, but it's easy to hang on your belt. It comes apart. You don't have to take your belt off and all this kind of stuff. But left-handed, right-handed, with the screws, you can move it around, hang it upside down, left-handed, right-handed. It's pretty good. Now, this is the knife that this is, when you have shit hit the fan, this is what you call a knife. And it's a Bowie knife, and it is cold steel. Boy, I wish I could tell you what the name is. I'll probably look it up. I'll write it on the screen. But anyway, I've had this for years. I think this is the first shit hit the fan knife I got. And this is carbon. This is a carbon blade. And that's because coming from Vietnam, in the Vietnam days, stainless steel wasn't that good. Nowadays, stainless steel might be a better thing. But this is carbon, and it's really a good carbon. Like I say, cold steel carbon blade. It's hard to put an edge on it, but once you have the edge on it, this is the blade to have. And like I say, I can pry things open. The tip, I don't know if you better see the tip really good, but it's got a good thick tip. So I mean, you can, you know, I say if I was doing a review or something, I'd stick it in the wood and wiggle it around, do stuff like that. But the tip is a good tip. I've used that tip to pry things open. This knife I've used a lot. I use it as a machete. It's kind of short, small for a machete, but it'll work. And, you know, you think, well, you know, these fighting knives and all this kind of stuff. This, like I say, now the K-bar is a little bit bigger than this. And you can see it's two different worlds. And even look at the thickness of the metal. I mean, this has got some weight on it. So if you don't want to using this in a fight it's nasty. You know, I work out with a sword. This it's a short sword, and you don't eat with it. You don't do stuff like that. But like I say, this thing is a working machine right here. And so shit hits the fan, you can go walking down the street with this, or the tomahawk, you know. So, and I say, people stay away from you. You have it in your hand, you just walk down the street. Now, this particular one, what I don't like about this thing is it comes with a nylon sheath. No good at all. And it wore out. So I made my own, and this thing, I made it left-handed or right-handed. I made it like that on purpose. And the reason is, well, you see, I got it right there where I don't think I made a video about how I made this thing too. But you don't have to take it off your belt off. It'll just slip right on. And also, it's got places right here where you can put it on a belt. And it'll be horizontal on the belt like that. And this way, you can take it out. It's a lot easier than trying to draw. It's so big, it takes too much time to draw it out like that. And like I say, if you got it on a horizontal, and then you just pull it out and you got it right there. And it's horizontal left or right-handed. So, and that's why I say we checked it. The same thing, it's horizontal on your belt like that. You can pull it out right there and it's ready to go. And I say, this is for shit hit the fan. Very good knife. Very good knife. And, but anyway, I just wanted to show you what I've... See, the thing, and that's another thing, is when you're on these types of knives, I say these have been with me for years and years. This one here is probably, maybe 30 years old. And so what I'm saying is, if you do your homework, spend the money, get a good blade. When you start talking about shit hit the fan stuff, I mean really shit hit the fan stuff, spend the money, because it's not going to get any cheaper, and you want something that's really going to work. And like I say, now this isn't for out in the woods and surviving and stuff like that. My kind of stuff is I survive in anything. See, that's why I've got my survival skills in anything. But anyway, I just wanted to share with you the kind of stuff that I have. I don't carry them all the time. I don't use them all the time. Well, I'm carrying one of these knives all the time. And if I go out in the woods camping, it'll be, you know, maybe these along with one of these. So I have multiple blades. And but like I say, do your homework on them. And like I say, I do customizing on on my knives, but not a whole lot you need to do. I don't worry about sharpening them extra, shaving type sharpness, because I use them. Once you put all the time in trying to get them shaving sharp, you don't want to use them. I brutally use my knives. So I can take a stone, or maybe I need to show you one of these days how to sharpen them, but they're not extra good sharp, but they're sharp and they do the job. This is Mike, NoStressMike.com.